All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The SkinCoin WCA continuing coverage here of the group stages. We got our final game of this first series here. Vega Squadron versus SFTe-sports. Vega, of course, responding with the Game 2 victory after SFTe-sports won that hour-and-a-half plus first game themselves. So thus, we have game number 3. We'll see how long this one takes. Yeah, well, definitely curious on that. And of course, it starts with the draft here as we are already underway. I am BreakyCPK, going to be joined by Skim once again. But Skim, all 3 games, Vega Squadron, they clearly like this Earthshaker Bane combination here.
They really do. And you can't really blame them, right? I think in pretty much all games they've had superior laning stage. And I think the 2 supports have made a lot of work or done a lot of work throughout the mid game as well, so can't really blame them. And this time around, though, Vega Squadron are actually the ones to change it up. They banned the Nyx Assassin and leaving the Night Stalker through. So for the first time in this best of 3, we do see the Night Stalker. And
5 seconds.
well, SFT they go pretty much the same route as Vega Squadron, picking their supports in the early stage. So going with the Night Stalker AA first, and potentially leaving their CK still in the pool.
Yeah, it's one of those. You know, actually, I'm looking at the ban right there. First off, because Necrophil's taken away by Vega Squadron with a 3rd ban. And I meant to bring that up these previous games too, but it never really happened. I don't know if Necrophos was touched in the last 2 games here. I remember looking at the draft and seeing that as, like, being surprised that the hero wasn't even banned, let alone picked. But it is banned here by Vega Squadron, so not going to give them the option. And then they also take away the Arc Warden as well. But as you pointed out, Chaos Knight is still there. Definitely would not be surprised. They do go Clockwork for now, though, instead.
Clockwork, one of Nikwa's sort of comfort picks, for sure. It's, again, a strong hero, actually, against both the Bane and the Earthshaker. I made that case in the first game, in the first draft. It's just really strong because you have 3 abilities to cancel the Fiend's group with. Obviously, restricting the Earthshaker's movement is very important in team fights, so a very strong pick here. And together with the Night Stalker, you have a lot of ganking potential for sure. You already have a good initiator with the Clockwork, and AA and Clockwork also actually a pretty good combo. You know, you hookshot somebody in, you clog them in, and then with the Ancient Apparition ultimate, that could potentially be a kill. So I like this opener from SFT. Feels a bit safer than the first ones that we've seen in the first and the second draft. You know, with the early Chaos Knight. Wasn't necessarily something that I was too fond of. Although SFT have made it work before, you know, they tend to first phase pick it a lot, so it's not out of the ordinary by any means.
So Vega, very familiar with this draft once again. The second game at least so far, it's exactly the same. And their last bit of options, Medusa, as well as God, I'm blanking on their offlane hero was, honestly. At least Medusa, they could still go right here if they really wanted to. Wind Ranger picked up on the other side, though. That's not a usual hero. So another kind of a curveball here from SFTe coming out.
Yeah, quite the curveball. Wind Ranger, there's a lot of reasons why this hero isn't picked. She feels very weak. She's very squishy. Very, very squishy, especially against burst damage that you have already. You know, you have the Fisher, you have the Boundless Strike. That already could put her at half HP, even potentially even lower than that. She has a lot of ganking potential. She can, you know, be a really strong mid-game carry, but she can also fall off significantly. And again, because she is so squishy, a lot of farm can feel very useless on her. You kind of need to invest into a couple of items before you can really get online. You need the Blink Dagger to be very mobile, but then you obviously need damage items as well. You kind of need defensive items as well. So it's a very difficult hero to run as a core, but a lot of times teams try to mitigate that issue, or especially the damage issue, by having something like a Slaughter, right? It helps her become a little bit more potent because of the minus armor. But I don't know, maybe this is something that just Thompson feels very comfortable with. I assume this is going to be a mid-Wind Ranger after all. That is at least the most logical conclusion right now. So we'll see. Maybe it's just a comfort pick of his.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a fair amount of SFTe-sports in this new season here, and I can't say I recognize that hero from them. So perhaps more on the pub side, and again, just trying stuff out here. But curious to see how that works for them. Clearly, Vega Squadron now in a spot of a little bit undecided. If they end up going Medusa here after all this time, I swear to God, they're like thinking about it, like, hey, you know a hero that's pretty good? We picked the first 2 games. Let's go Medusa. That's going to be a Medusa, isn't it?
I'm not sure Medusa is a good pick here. They have a lot of ways of dealing with Medusa. They could still run it, of course, but I think SFT is very well equipped with dealing with Medusa. They have a lot of single target damage and abilities, of course, to trigger any Lincoln shenanigans. They have the AA is fantastic against the Medusa. They have the silence against the Medusa, which is pretty strong, of course, and they have a lot of catch potential. So I'm not sure that would have been great. And Vega do go with the Dragon Knight first. They could technically still go with the Medusa. Don't get me wrong, but Dragon Knight I do think is also an excellent pick here. It's a tanky hero, difficult to bring down, like a very difficult target to gank actually for this lineup. Yeah, they have the AA, which is a good counter, but that's basically it. A lot of armor on the DK, and of course it does add to that push.
Yeah, Dragon Knight definitely brings that to the table. So, as you mentioned, even the previous game, I believe it was. I mean, it's definitely still could use a one position on Vega Squadron side, but at the same time, probably expect Monkey King to be there. And if that's the case, then they would still need an offlaner, unless they want to run Earthshaker in the offlane. So it definitely could be a plethora of options. The Broodmother Band coming out from SFT, another case of they're not going to give them that one as an option. We've already talked about that. That was the first game looking back where we had that band there. Just a hero that if you have the option to take it out, usually a pretty good option. So there's a Sven band. And now Vega Squadron thinking about that final pick. So it's going to be SFTe getting the final pick here. And
Anti-Mage.
They're going up against an Anti-Mage now. Wow. All right. We got an AM game. How does AM fare this game? I mean, the lockdown, I guess it's not the greatest lockdown right now on SFTe-sports side.
10 seconds.
Yeah, this is for sure a very terrifying game for SFT right now, because these three cores are very difficult to bring down with the lineup that they currently have. As you mentioned, they don't have a lot of lockdown. Yeah, they have the Clockwork, but that's basically it. Clockwork into Shackle. It's sort of the only lockdown that they have. These heroes are very tanky. All of them have high armor. They will have high HP based on their items as well. There's not a lot of sustainable damage on SFT's side. It's currently only the Wind Ranger. AA is burst, and Night Stalker and Clockwork aren't necessarily the biggest damage dealers either. CK, it's almost to be expected they would pick a CK, right?
Of course, why not?
CK isn't bad. It definitely adds a lot of things that they don't have. You know, they have the extra stun. They have a bit more damage as well, or a lot more damage, I should say. But still, I think Vega's lineup is very strong, very convincing. Sure, they have 4 melee heroes, but there's not a lot of ways on SFT to really exploit it. Yeah, they have the Clockwork, which is nice, but that's basically it. I think it's going to be very difficult for SFT to bring down these cores, especially if Vega have a favorable laning stage again, which they did last game, or in the first game as well.
So Chaos Knight's still there, and of course, if that's still on the board, that's always going to be an option for SFTe-sports. And third game in a row they're going to run it, although, again, previous game they technically ran it in the 4 position with Pablo playing it, but back in the hands of Illidan, back to being comfortable with it, and does bring a little bit of that crowd control now with that Chaos Bolt as we're talking about. But, yeah, I see the point being brought up, too, of course, yeah, with Wind Ranger, the Wind Run, definitely a valuable tool this game, specifically against the Monkey King, but now Monkey King's not necessarily as much of that hard carry. He's, again, going to be more transition into an offlaner almost, and by the way, that's for Vega. The Afterlife is back for them. Wait. Was he?
No, he isn't.
Wait.
They're still playing with a
on the score screen, it said Afterlife right there as we're loading in. That is weird. Is that actually Afterlife just on a different account? That's so weird.
It might be, actually.
I swear I did not see that wrong.
I mean, if you go into his Steam profile, it actually says Afterlife as well.
so
this is a bit weird.
That is really weird. Anyways, maybe it's like a roster, yeah. A roster issue. Although the first game he actually was Afterlife, so maybe it's not a stand-in after all. Just kind of threw us off there. Okay, whatever. The point is, it's going to be the hands of an offlaner on the Monkey King, and he's currently running around as a courier. Kind of confused me there. But that is actually him. So, yeah, that idea of it being a counter in the Wind Ranger, it's not as big of a deal anymore because of that.
Well, yeah, apparently it is him. Apparently it is him.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently it is him. It's just his Smurf account, I believe.
For some reason, he just decided to change.
But for some reason, he calls it No Fear.
Yeah. I don't... That's... Because, again, especially since the first game, he was playing on the other one, too, and the actual Afterlife, so... It's whatever. It's a player. We'll go with that. As we didn't hear anything about a sub being used anyways. Again, that would make sense. Top lane, Earthshaker, he's going to block. Has that fissure ready to go. I'd be surprised to see that come out. But you look at how the lanes are setting up here. Monkey King is going to go top with the Earthshaker and the Bane. So it's going to be an aggressive trial lane for Vega Squadron. And they're going to be matched up against a defensive trial lane up here.
This is going to be really interesting. Like I pointed out in the second game, you know, Monkey King is a really strong hero to have in the offlane because he can contest the farm, and he can harass quite a little bit. So it's gonna be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a lot of kills, just a lot of kills here.
Well, it's already started. No fear. AKA Afterlife apparently he's in trouble, and that's a first blood. STSD picks it up, so he called it right off the bat. That chilling touch comes out and they get a kill, but now it's down, so maybe it's Vega Squadron's chance. Oh, look at this. Bane, he's going to block the stack attempt over here. I was wondering what he was doing running over there, but yeah, that was the intention. Now they need to pause to talk over what just happened. Be like, Monkey King, let's not get out of position. But yeah, so when the chilling touch is up, that's where you got to be really scared if you're Vega Squadron, as we saw right there.
For sure, and especially early on, you know, Monkey King later on definitely becomes very tanky, but early on, he can be very squishy, and he is very squishy. Same with the Earthshaker, same with the Bane. They technically have quite high stats for, you know, in comparison to a lot of other heroes, but still, early on with the chilling touch for sure, there's a lot of killing potential on the dire side, and it's just something they have to be careful about. But Bane is already doing a good job. You know, blocking that camp was very important, making sure you don't really want to give SFT the opportunities to stack and pull.
Bane going at it with AA. AA, he's just going to walk back into the lane, though. Again, Bane's not a hero you want to man up against 1 versus 1 like that, for obvious reason with that brain sap, so you see traits for him. All right, let's take a look at the other lanes. Well, it's not the most action just yet, as I say that. They're going in. All right, so back up top, Pablo. Kind of gets cut off right here with a fissure. Throws out a void, being daytime, though. Minimal effect. But it's enough to stay alive. The reality of Poland, they're turning on a Monkey King here. Does he have a void? He doesn't even need it, though. Monkey King goes down, and what they thought was a kill on Night Stalker ends up being a turn kill onto the Monkey King instead. Well played right there. Bane, he's trying to find Night Stalker, but is he going too deep? He's not going too deep, but he's not going to get the kill. He's really going deep now here, isn't he?
He still has brain sub up.
Yeah,
but
so
he's not going to find anything.
All right, but the other lanes, Dragon Knight versus the Wind Ranger. 15-2 Dragon Knight versus a 7-5 Wind Ranger. I would say that's one-sided.
To be expected, this is a very difficult matchup for the Wind Ranger because, you know, DK, especially with the Quelling Blade, is going to get most of the last hits. He can't really harass the DK because he's very tanky. 2 points of Dragon Blood is going to make it near impossible to really zone him out of the lane. Yes. And of course, with the Breathe Fire, he can get a lot of early last hits until he has his bottle, which he's going to have in, like, what, 3 gold? And then it's going to be even more difficult for Thompson, who doesn't even have the bottle queued up, knowing that he can't really afford to go for the bottle. He needs the phase boots to stay in lane and to, you know, to secure farm.
Those are the power shot right there, and gonna start pushing it back as far as the creep lane goes. But keep an eye on that. You see there, I mean, he really does jump up in the CS, so a little bit skewed because of the massive push of the creep wave that was going on. So Thompson right back in it, and the phase boots almost finished. Just needs the actual boots part. As both the blades of attack, though, ready to go. Bottom lane, Clockwork versus the Anti-Mage is the last lane we haven't talked about yet, but again, in a case where nothing's really going to happen. Just back and forth.
Top lane. Ooh, that Fisher's going to block that kill, but Bane might die instead.
Yeah, Bane, a curious decision to kind of stand there for a little bit, and he underestimated that Reality Rift in 1 second. Nightmares, take it off from, I was going to say, Night Stalker could just take it off, and well played. It's going to lock him down, though, to where how they can react to this, so that's a pretty clever move by Bane in the end. It forces them to commit to doing that, and thus they get turned now, and Illidan, he's going to keep on running. He chose not to go for that bounty rune. Slayer's like, all right, I'll pick it up. And Illidan's still in a little bit of trouble, but no, they're not going to go too far. Well, this is where the action's at as expected. The top lane. So far, 3-1.
very much as expected. I wonder if either team is going to change up things a little bit and maybe have Monkey King stay here for himself for like a couple of minutes, and maybe have the supports rotate a little bit. But as I say that, it looks like SFT might be the team that rotates a little bit, because it is, of course, the first nighttime now, and Night Stalker, with that first nighttime, ideally wants to find a kill. Though, I don't think he can, actually. DK is very tanky, Anti-Mage is very elusive. It's going to be nigh to impossible to actually kill anybody, so... yeah, he's just going to rotate back top and maybe look for a kill there.
Yeah, Dragon Knight with that level 2 Dragon Blood, it's poor man's shield, even has the build of strength on him. Like, he's a very difficult to kill. So, going back up top, Cold Feet on Monkey King. Does end up proccing, actually. And he's going to go the other direction, trying to kite them away. Go for the turn kill, and they make it happen. But being nighttime, Pablo, void in 2 more seconds. Will they go for this? Chaos Bolt not going to be ready because of lack of mana, and a good cutoff from Earthshaker there to prevent them from actually going further. And are they going to try to? Oh, they're going to try to pull. Okay. So there's no way they're doing the stack, but
times are hard.
Attempting to, at least, and he'll get a little bit out of it. But yeah, Night Stalker, it's been nighttime now for about a minute and a half. He's going to try to use it more. Find the Bane, maybe? He's just hiding in here. Now he sneaks out.
And he scouts out the Earthshaker as well, which is really important, because this way Thompson should know that he cannot overstep his boundaries whatsoever. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you know, Vega rotating the 2 supports, leaving Monkey King for himself just a little bit, and apply a little pressure on the other lanes, maybe find a kill even. Then, unlike to get this tower, Wind Ranger should be able to divert the creep wave sufficiently long enough to protect this tower. But as I say that, actually, DK is taking the tower nicely and allowing this catapult to hit even more. But the tower should still be fine for now.
Yeah, it's gonna survive this first Elder Dragon. Well, they're going in right here. Illidan, by the way, gets to go to the top lane on a no fear, as I believe the dire side probably sees that he's by himself. What's going on in the middle lane? So this tower, I mean, it's definitely dead.
All right, yeah, it's
at this
dead.
point now. Did I? Oh, that was close actually. No, tops in, maybe overstepping. No, Fissure on the wrong side, and he'll walk away. But yeah, with the supports being there, especially, there's nothing that Topsy can do to hold that off.
Bottom lane, Aloha Dance even used his ultimate trying to get a kill on Nikwa, but
oh yeah,
Nikwa just feeling very healthy right now.
Yeah, Mana Void coming off cooldown in about 10 seconds right here, so with the rotation over from Bane, maybe that could be another chance for the kill, but it's been free farm really on the Anti-Mage. 45 and 5. Clockwork's also doing pretty well though, 32 and 7. He is level 6. And they're going though. There's a Brain Sap Mana Void. No, yeah, it wouldn't be enough still. And actually, I need to be careful being turned down. Nico doesn't have mana to work with, so that's the awkward part. But Pablo, he can do plenty being nighttime. Nightmare's up on him. Taken out by Clockwork, though, allowing Night Stalker to continue chasing, and there's the kill. SDST picks it up, actually.
Top lane, though, Illidan doesn't get Fissure blocked. Yeah, I like this rotation from pretty much both sides, really. I think, you know, disbanding that tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario, I think beneficial for both sides, really. Because the other lanes definitely could need some help. SFT more so than Vega, of course, but yeah, with this nighttime, they need to find more kills. There was, what, 1 kill? Or was it... Did they actually get a kill top as well? I guess it's 2 kills.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess 2 kills, which is not bad for nighttime, of course, but ideally you get more. But it's really, again, it's really difficult against these cores. It's DK and an Anti-Mage.
0-1 and 6 Night Stalker. Come on, man. Pick it up here. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's he definitely has been playing well, of course, right? But a lot of those kills were actually before the nighttime, and
yeah, it was at the chaos.
In the nighttime, ideally, you find a kill or 2, but he's still doing pretty fine. Bottom lane, by the way, Aloha Dance yet again uses ultimate, almost got the kill on Nikwa, but Nikwa yet again survives with just a sliver of his HP.
Just enough, and port to the top lane. That would be Ancient Apparition coming back up here. Chaos Knight, level 6. He does get the Phantasm. Gonna be stunned out. Monkey King.
Oh, the DKZ as well. Stunned an illusion. I thought it was the real Night Stalker.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty critical. And now, the Dragon Form, of course, activated. They're gonna jump on him. I don't know about that, but they push him into the tower. So they're gonna get some assisted damage. The Chaos Bolt finally connects. He's still taking that tower damage. Nice Nightmare. Should save him a little bit right there. Boundless Strike's gonna push him back. Wukong's man to the side. Nope, he'll actually Primal Spring in. And Dragon Knight stays alive. Yeah, it's a beefy target. And that shows off right there. Illidan still in pursuit, though. G going for the TP out. He will be successful. Bane, not the same story. Not as tanky. He will fall. And Monkey King. Oh, they ate the right tree. And he is stunned now, and he is most certainly dead, right? Maybe? Please? Don't get out of here. Don't do it, Mischief. Okay. That would be sick. He's trying, man. But this is 4 heroes up here chasing him this whole time.
Oh god, he's so tanky. Oh, he can jump to a tree.
No. 2 seconds. 1 second. He actually is going to get into a tree, isn't he? Oh, no.
Oh my god, he's getting out of here. He's actually getting out of here. Holy shit.
I mean, I would say he had an infused rain drop, but it actually didn't even proc. Like, so that didn't even help him necessarily.
No, it was just purely physical damage. And,
Jesus.
With a poor man's shield, you'll block quite a little bit of that. So, I was very unfortunate for SFT. You're gonna feel very sad if you're SFT because you invest so much into that kill. What, the 4 heroes invested 30 seconds for this?
At least.
Yeah. So this is very unfortunate for them, and they also didn't get the DK kill earlier as well. So effectively, they don't. Well, they got the Bane. I guess that's that.
Yeah, they got some. They got this.
You want more than just the Bane. Yeah.
Considering how that started, yeah, that was actually a horrible outcome for SFT for sure. But that's the thing, going on the Dragon Knight like that, especially with all that support nearby. Like, Dragon Knight was by himself in that fight, then I can understand trying to engage onto him, but they chose to engage onto him where they did with the hook shot and then pushing back with the cogs. Like, that was their decision. They clearly did not have the upfront burst, though. And something else to note as well, Wind Ranger was not there. She's the only hero that hasn't really been involved in too much action yet.
Yeah, that could have been a totally different fight if the Wind Ranger had been there. But I believe she just TP'd bottom when the fight started, okay. So I'm not sure that she would have been around for that. Either way, I thought the initiation on the DK was actually kind of nice, and I'm not sure if it was planned, but having the DK on the other side of the tree line, forcing him to go past the tower, was actually such a smart decision. Oh no, they're taking the stack with the Echo Slam.
They're trying at least. Slayer, he's going to die, and he won't even get it. Clockwork actually snipes out a couple. And Chaos not going to clean the rest, so that really didn't even work out. He Echo Slammed for that, and I don't even think they probably got a couple of the small ones, but that's it. Oh, jeez.
That pause, though.
Yeah.
The hookshot just connects. They know where the Monkey King is. I wonder, can he use Quelling Blade from uphill? I don't think he can. I think it's out of range.
Well, Clockwork has one.
Oh, Clockwork has it. Oh, all right. Here's one of them. Nice.
He's
That's a 4-second stun, then.
Yeah. Gonna push him right up to the CK. He's like, here you go, buddy. Nice cold feet. Has a Chaos Bolt right after. And yeah, good execution right there.
Yeah, pretty much perfect as well. This is SFT catching a little bit of a break. They definitely need those kills, especially on the CK. And keeping the Monkey King down is going to be really important in this game. So as I say that, you know, there's a free farming anti-mage and pretty much free farming DK as well. 2 heroes that also need to be kept down, ideally.
Yeah, anti-mage you have a little bit of time on though, but it does happen fast. Once he gets that battle fury, of course, then all of a sudden you blink and he has a Yasha, blink again he has a Manta, and the butterfly inevitably comes out and you're just like, ah, crap. Where did our time go? So yeah, definitely paying attention to that. But I look back at this Wind Ranger. When I think Wind Ranger, I mean, I might be wrong on this, but especially for how much action has been happening in this game, I think a hero that can definitely assist in fights quite a bit, especially with that Shackle Shot, you know, the Power Shot himself. In fact, right here, using the Focus Fire to harass, but maybe went a little bit too deep, and has a win run, gets it off, the evasion kicking in. Gonna wear off here soon, though. Nightmare activated, and that should be a setup for the kill. The Mana Void even coming out. And Aloha Dance with the kill. But it goes back to my point that he's been just simply static farming, it seems like, this game, rather than trying to get involved.
The thing is, it's not even that bad, because you don't really want to commit 5 heroes early on to, like, total, you know, team fight. You ideally have some... Oh, Monkey King, and he's dead. You ideally have somebody that's farming, right? Because if you commit all 5 heroes, you're likely going to waste resources, and Thompson is the 3rd highest in network. So... Dead Bane as well. Can they get the DK? That's the big target. No hookshot though.
No, they just used that and he gets an easy tower kill. Now, Illidan pushes top tower meanwhile. So they do get something out of that, but yeah, the Dragon Knight definitely paying off here. He's doing what he should be doing. Got middle, got bottom now. Went the Hooded Defiance first, by the way. As far as his early build, and now he has the Shadow Blade that he just queued up.
Yeah, I like this from G. This is gonna make him so much tankier as well. Like, the AA blast is usually it's another dead Bane again. Should be anyway.
Nighttime again.
But yeah, the Hood is going to make him much tankier against the AA and the Wind Ranger, of course. So that's a good pickup. It's a very value pickup as well.
Stack the Ancient, or I guess this isn't really going to be a stack, but pulls the Ancients a little bit early. It's a double stack there, though. Comes into the lane. Ready to go once again. But yeah, Shadowblade next. Chaos Knight, the Hannah Midas pickup once again. So he doesn't go that all armlet build. That's something I have noticed now. How this whole series, I mean, obviously last game was a force support, but in general lately I feel like on Illidan, he hasn't gone that armlet, which we tend to see a bit on Chaos Knights usually.
I prefer it this way. I think that the Chaos Knight armlet just focuses too much on being active in the mid game and the early mid game. But the way they've been playing the CK isn't necessarily as a mid game aggressor, but it's more so as a traditional carry, if anything. And with the Midas, he ensures that he has farm throughout all stages of the game. And I don't know, he actually even went for the Shadowblade, which I thought was a really strong item, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Shadowblade again into the Silver Edge, though, well, he might not have an item anytime soon anyway.
Yep, that's going to be a dead Chaos Knight. Ooh, he tried to Mana Void there, but G actually gets credit for it, and he'll take the bounty. What was actually, wow, that was a 7-kill streak stopper, Jesus.
7 kill streak, yeah. That's crazy. I mean, Illidan was top of net worth as well, so, or it still is. That's a lot of gold. Oh, Pablo, you had a vision. Please, Pablo.
He did not know the Bane was there, possibly, but they had a vision in the area and going a little bit too deep. And now Bane, he went the other direction, and Shackle Shot's going to secure that kill. So there's Thompson getting involved. Finds 1 kill, and now they're going to look to protect this top tower. As Chaos Knight is back up, the wind run forward from Wind Ranger. Using those phase boots, not going to be able to catch anyone else though.
But they secure, or they keep their tier 1 tower alive, which is very important, really. As you can see, Vega was already sort of prepping for taking down this tower and having like a really deep ward behind or inside the enemy jungle. And keeping this tower alive not only makes these wards sort of like less useful, but of course it also secures, you know, all the resources that you have into the jungle. You definitely want to keep the map control that you can against an anti-mage, because anti-mage with Blink Battle Fury is going to take away all your camps if you lose your towers early. So that tower is very, very important for them.
As mentioned, Anti-Mage has the Battle Fury now and taking out the Ancients. You see the top lane, Monkey King. It's been a rough game for him so far, 6 deaths already. He gets out of there quickly, as they were scouting him between the Ice Vortex and then the Rocket coming out. It's a good thing he fell back. However, Slayer's going to get caught. There's a Darkness from Pablo, and that's a dead Earthshaker as a result of that there. So nice chase from SFTe. They're clearly keeping up with some good pressure now. And this is going to be the top tower, tier 2. And I'm also noticing what Wind Ranger's going for with the Axe item that she has next queued up here.
You know how we talked about the lack of an armlet on Illidan? He now went for it. He now went back for it.
There you go. He has it after the follow-up there. Yeah, I was trying to remember if he went that the first game or not. I'm honestly not sure if he went that.
He didn't. He went with the Shadowblade. Shadowblade, Silver Edge, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
So I honestly think it would be, I mean, he could still go for it. I think it would be great this game, honestly. Against the Anti-Mage, against the DK.
This Nightmare is causing a little bit of an issue, but Bane eventually falls. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the break effect wouldn't be the worst option in the world. Monkey King. Oh, they see him. They saw him. Oh, he's lucky this tree did not get cut down. He goes in with the Primal Spring, then they jump Wind Ranger, get the kill. The Blink initiation from G. Oh, no, that was a Shadowblade initiation, but anyways, they get the kill there. Chaos Knight now, he's in trouble. He's completely locked in. Reality Rift maybe? Yeah, he Reality Rifts over the ledge, but the Wukong's command finishes him off actually, so good hold right there from Vega. Well, they lost tier 2, but still, they get a couple of nice kills out of it.
Yeah, it was a bit greedy from SFT, trying to force that tier 2 by all means, even though a lot of them didn't have enough mana or HP. Of course, Wind Ranger even tanked the tower. And that's just a dead Pablo? He should be dead.
Yeah. Mana Rift is here if necessary. It's not, though, and Pablo, there you go. There's the Mana Rift.
Such sorcery shall not prevail.
This is not good for SFT. Cannot afford to give away these kills. Certainly not with a lineup that sort of thrives on mid-game, on a mid-game presence. You know, losing map control like this, because now, what, those heroes are down for like 30 seconds each. that's a lot of time that you lose on the map. And that's a lot of presence that you don't have and that you need.
Top lane, Monkey King quickly gets out as Chaos Knight ports up here. But yeah, SFTe had a hell of a start, especially with the hero kills. But you do see these cores now kicking in. Most certainly the Anti-Mage and the Dragon Knight himself doing plenty. Heaven's Halberd now get up here. But look at this Anti-Mage, by the way. The Yasha. And the Mantis Style is going to be finished first, according to his queue. But then he has the Ags planned right after the Manta. Is the Ags going to be good this game?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I think he could have technically also just used the Lincolns. I honestly think Lincolns could have been better potentially. But I don't know. It depends. It depends. I think the build up to the Lincolns is better. That's why I prefer the Lincolns usually. But the Aghanims isn't bad here, and you know, being able to throw back like Focus Fire, for example, or the Shackle Shot would be really huge.
Well, Darkness spawned again, the Reality Rift. The Cogs pushing back Dragon Knight. This is a very awkward position for him to be in. He does have another Dragon form. The stun not going to be enough, though. And he does end up falling, so that'll, for the chase on the hand, they also catch up to Bane. And SFTe definitely doing a good job executing right there for a couple of kills, and they're pinging tier 3 tower as if they want to try to push it now.
Well, they certainly can't go bottom, so might as well go high ground, I suppose.
They got Wind Ranger. That focused fire if need be. So far hasn't used it. The Axe is almost finished on her, but there you go. She activates it. She used it on that middle tower. Port's coming in. That would be Bane. Dragon Knight still has another 10 seconds. Anti-Mage is split pushing the bottom tier 2 or tier 3 even now. As he's getting all the way there, so they do lose that tier 2 in the meantime. And now they're starting to retreat, but uh-oh, Chaos Knight's caught here. They're going to go in. Slayer does have an Echo Slam going for it. Enchanted him on top. The Ice Blast in response, though. And Eladin throws out the Chaos Ball. The Fissure is going to be wearing off. He turns. The auto attacks are enough to take him out. And actually, Bane is going to get picked off now as well. So too much of a reach from Vega Squadron there. There's a couple more.
Yeah, that must have been some miscommunication. I think they thought to themselves, well, we can, you know, pick off anybody that's retreating, but it was pretty much only the supports. The cores were all, nah, let's just sit back. This ain't happening, and suddenly they're down 2 supports again.
Oh no. If Dragon Knight dies, he does not have a buyback. This is a crucial kill. He's beefy, but he's not beefy enough. He will fall. And now that opens up tier 3 for sure. Wukong's command gets off. He could not hookshot in time.
Oh, he pushes him out!
He pushed him out with the Cogs. Beautiful play. Nico's done a hell of a job with those Cogs positioning, and now they're going for the melee racks. They cut down the tree, and so Monkey King gets that massive stun. He's dead for 45. He has a buyback, but is he really going to be able to do much? He's so minimal farm right now. He will use it. Anti-Mage is in the base, though. You're right. He's at the bottom. The racks, the range one is dying right now. He's TPing in or he's blinking in for a TP, though. They did kill the melee racks back here. And Night Stalker, he's just going to distract as much as possible. Back to the top lane. You got Anti-Mage dealing with the Wind Ranger. Anti-Mage is still farming. 4 more seconds on that TP. He gets the ranged racks, and he will blink away. So AM doing the split push play and gets the range racks out of it, but they did trade a melee racks for that.
They traded melee racks for that, and of course they give away, what, 3 kills? They lost, no, 2 kills. They lost the DK and the Monkey King, which isn't great.
I'll take that.
Monkey King starved as is already. His only item is the Midas, which he went for. So, you know, SFT doing really well. Yeah, they lost the Night Stalker, but that was to be expected. But they're in a really good position. And, I don't know, they're playing really well. They're executing this lineup very well. And like you mentioned earlier, you know, technically for SFT, there's nothing on the line. They are already out of the tournament. They cannot possibly advance, no matter how much they win here. But they're still giving it their all in all 3 games thus far. So, props to them.
That they are again trying to play the spoiler, and right now it's the way the series goes. It's definitely anyone's game, and obviously competitors at heart for sure. So they're trying to make a play right here. They got hiding around the Roshan pit. I don't know if that means they're actually thinking about doing it, or if they're looking to once again run into the jungle over here. Yeah, just trying to scout out where the opponents are at, but no, double damage during Chaos Knight means let's do Roshan. Yeah, let's do it quickly. Now, the Radiant side, they're in the area kinda, but they definitely do not have vision, and this is gonna drop way too fast for them to react. There you go. Aegis picked up by Chaos Knight. Wind Ranger does have the Axe now finished, so that Focus Fire gets a lot better, especially when she's at level 18. the 0% scepter damage reduction.
Top tower is under attack.
Pretty big from it.
Radiant's middle barracks
See the
are under
anti-mage.
attack.
Oh, they don't get the real one.
Down here.
Oh, I'm not sure they would have been able to kill him anyway. It's very difficult, really. He has the Mantis style now, of course. I mean, he's still only sitting at, what, 1.5k HP if he has, like, strength threads up. But still, it's not easy to bring him down with, like, what, 13 armor as well?
Oh, no, he's a tough kill. You got the spell shield on top of that. It's like, there's a reason why Anti-Mage is considered one of the better carries throughout the game. And the idea that he could just constantly split push freely.
Oh, that's hard on CK now. Speaking of heroes difficult to kill, this CK.
Yeah, this is a build we've definitely been seeing a lot of, honestly, from the CKs in general. The armlet into the heart, and the fact that he already has it at 24 minutes is pretty crazy, actually. He's level 15 on top. He got 3,800 life at this point. He also has an arcane rune. In 30 more seconds, I think he might just have enough time left.
Yeah, he timed it pretty perfectly. He was waiting around the rune, waiting until his ultimate was, you know, the cooldown on his ultimate was low enough. So he just timed it, and he will probably just immediately pop it once it's available.
Yeah.
Just make use of that arcane rune.
Yeah, he should be good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Focus fire bottom lane, but again, now with the scepter or the axe, it's very minimal cooldown as well. Tower kill, ports away. They find Anti-Mage. And they capitalize on this. A blink in 1 second. The lock to the silence comes out, and now he's in trouble. Does not have his Mantis style either. And that is a kill. 70 seconds. He will not have a buyback at this point.
And CK, as we just mentioned, he has his ultimate up. He's already knocking on the tier 3 bottom. The support can come in pretty quickly as well.
He chose not to Phantasm, by the way, right away, so it's whatever. I mean, he still has Phantasm up, and actually going to pull in the Dragon Knight. The fissure, that's kind of an awkward fissure, though. The Echo Slam, Earthshaker says, I gotta go, man. The cold feet procs, though. Dragon Knight, he's dead. Yeah, that fissure did not help their cause. Bane is also in that spot, and he, too, will go down, and now the Focus Fire on the tier 3 bottom tower. This could be it even. I mean, SFTe, they're just pushing in. No Dragon Knight, no Anti-Mage. And they're dead for 30 seconds plus.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, this is just going to be Lane Rax. I mean, Vega, you know, they have the Anti-Mage and they have the Monkey King and the Dragon Knight. They can deal with 2 lanes of Rax, but SFT are going to put themselves in a very commanding position. And I'm not even sure Vega can take this fight, even if they all respawn.
No Echo
Slam. They stole the Aegis on the CK. And yeah, like you said, no Echo Slam.
Monkey King has the courier here, but he's got his Wukong's command, but again has a defusal now at least. But it still doesn't matter. They're not going to engage. Go back, kill shrines if you're the dire team here. That's definitely the safe play. And
Radiant's top shrine.
Okay, Windwinter went the blink. I was gonna say, does she have something else coming? But no, she went the blink. So that makes sense. Chrysalis though for that's Thompson's. Okay, so even has something
top
else.
Shrine has fallen.
Chrysalis now.
Pretty farmed. Pretty farmed.
Yeah, Wind Ranger's proven to work out pretty well here actually.
Yep.
It's a rare pick that we're getting to see do pretty well. Always fun. Not so fun for Vega Squadron though, as now they're down 2 sets of racks, and the only way they're going to win this game is by turtling massively. So there we're in for another really long one, or SFTe will be able to close this out.
I think they might actually just smoke up soon. I think they need to do something. I don't think they can just, you know, farm away and just have the game go on as it has thus far. I think they need to look for a fight very far away from their own base, and then try and get a kill or 2, obviously, and then convert it into an objective. Because the past, what, 2 or 3 fights or engagements were very close to their own base, and as a result, then they lost towers and rain and Raxes. But if they take a fight outside their own base, especially if they get the CK now,
that's so
don't really lose much in return.
Yeah, Aegis and the heart. It's like, are they really jumping in? That would be so much.
It feels impossible at this stage.
That can't be our target. They have to definitely get like the Wind Ranger or Night Stalker, even AA. Like they got to pick up those targets first.
Oh no, Monkey King gets scouted.
Oh, he leaped away just in time though. Hook shot, it does connect onto Earthshaker, so it's going to be pushed back. The Cogs causing issues as before. Anti-Mage, he's silenced up though after the Mantis style. He's in trouble once again. He does not have a buyback. This side's wearing off in a couple of seconds. And he will not get it off. Double kill for Thompson. And that very likely is the beginning of the end. Monkey King, Wukong's command, they're just toying with him. These Cogs from Niqua, man, have been fun to watch. And there's a GG as the Echo Slam comes out, but obviously it doesn't matter.
Ultra kill for Thompson.
Why not? Let's throw out the Ultra kill. What did he finish? He was 7-2-4. So yeah, I made the criticism of him early on. He wasn't really involved the most, but he proved to know what he was doing. He did it very well, and definitely a big reason on their victory with that hero. So
well,
good tempo from SFTe.
A very good tempo. This was. It's kind of weird, right? That we had the first 2 games go on for so long, and this game was almost a very one-sided stomp in a sense. But I feel like SFT just showed up, especially in the laning stage, and they showed a completely different color in the laning stage as well, right? In the first 2 games, they lost a lot of lanes, but this time around, they pretty much won 2 lanes. I mean, in a sense, obviously, the safe lane definitely won, right? They got a lot of kills early on, but then Nico also got a lot of farming experience bottom, and obviously, Lodans couldn't really zone him out because it's a clockwork. It's difficult to really kill him at all, especially with the Poorman's shield early on. And then Thompson just made sure to keep up with farm. Sure, he didn't necessarily out-farm G by any means, but he kept up, and in hindsight, we highlighted early on that Thompson wasn't even part of a lot of early game fights, but in hindsight, it was actually important for him not to be part of those, because suddenly he came out, with an early Aghanim Scepter and then the Maelstrom as well, and then suddenly he has Blink Chrysalis as well, so it was really important for him to keep farming and have his team basically fight without him, and they paid back pretty much. I mean, Illidan 10-2-10. This guy, when do you start banning his CK, really? That's the question.
Yeah, it's clearly the most comfortable hero for him to play, at least as of late. And I think if you match up against this team, that's something that you should probably think about in the long run too. But they were fun to watch, and like we keep going back to, congrats for SFTe. Definitely props to them. Not only playing to win despite nothing being on the line really, but grinding it out, man. This was a hell of a series. And ultimately lasting 4.5 hours in total when you figure back to when we actually started here. But in the end, they do come through. And they play spoiler, because now what that means, it's a little bit unfortunate, because now that means Vega Squadron has no chance. And I say that because they're set to play Empire later on today. And now there's kind of that on the line, where at that point Empire also will be playing for nothing, because they're also going on now no matter what. So it does make it a little awkward for the final series. That's what kind of happens with these formats, though, the group stages. So we'll talk about that when we get to it, though. But so I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on. Apparently, we're still planning to go into Mouse Sports versus Mid or Feed. I guess the lobby's up for that next series, and there was a chance that it was going to be rescheduled, but then they're suggesting no, it's actually going to be played now. So sounds like that one's going to be next. So if you guys want to hang around, we got the SkinCoin WCA coverage. If you type !SkinCoin in chat, you can get information on the giveaway. As far as if you go to skincoin.org, you can check out the latest esports cryptocurrency, where you can trade in your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins. Again, that is skincoin.org. So, Skim, I don't know what your plans are. I thought I might have had another Cocottes, but he's honestly not responding, so I don't know if you could hang around. It's up to you.
I think if this series hadn't gone on for as long as it did, probably, but unfortunately, I'm out of time today.
Okay, that's understandable.
Though it was a lot of fun casting. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, yeah, I did want to give you the chance, and if you were going to be leaving here, then any shout-outs, any final words?
No, I'm good. Just follow me on Twitter at SkinGaming if you feel like it, but other than that, thanks for having me again. It was a lot of fun, and looking forward to the next series. I'll be watching.
Sounds good. Well, again, right now it's set to be Mouse Sports versus Mid or Feed. It definitely should be a fun one there. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back. SkinCoin WCA coverage.